Hey everyone, you know how sometimes the picture postcard version of the past, it's like kind of fun, but also kind of off?
Right.
So today, we're ditching those tourist traps and getting real, digging into the history of
And
witches.
I am so here for this.
Not the Halloween decor kind, though.
Yeah.
More like, how did this whole witch thing become a tool, right?
Yeah.
And like, the echoes of that, they're still messing us up today. Get ready for some seriously wild connections between what people freaked out about back then and what still messes with power now.
Buckle up, everybody.
Okay, so we've got an awesome interview to work with. Anna Pieri, she's acting in a play called The Last Witch. Super interesting.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
And then grounding us, a really solid piece from history.com.
Yeah.
Big picture stuff about witches across time.
Love their work.
Okay, so first thought, pointy hat, cauldron bubbling, maybe a black cat's chilling. Cliche, right? But the history.com article, it does this amazing job showing us how much darker, like truly tragic, the real deal was.
It's easy to forget we're talking about people.
Exactly.
Real people, mostly women, terrified, alone, often, like the worst possible endings. We can't forget that.
And that the word witch, the article says, often it was slapped on healers, women just living their lives, or straight up, when a town needed a fall guy, a scapegoat.
And that's the danger, right? That single story, we get the witch in fairy tales, scary movies, we miss the humans behind the word. Lives wrecked by fear, by just not knowing Gael.
And this is where Anna Pieri, her take from the play The Last Witch, so insightful. Her play is about these women, Helen and Janet Guthrie, the first women killed for witchcraft in Scotland.
Yeah.
Real story.
Yeah, I'm a bit familiar with that case. Awful. Superstition, the anxieties of the time, just a huge miscarriage of justice.
And here's where it gets even crazier already. The playwright, she uses the name Janet Horn for the character.
Yeah.
But Anna pointed out that's not even her real name. Like, Janet Horn, it was what they called any witch back then. Generic, like John Doe now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, really? That's layers to that, man. Think about it. All those witches, their names gone. History just swallowed them up. No names, just the stereotype, right?
Right. It's heartbreaking, honestly. Makes you wonder whose stories survive, whose get silenced. And it's centuries ago, but still. It's like by erasing their names, history erased them twice. Brutal.
History is written by the winners, right? That's the saying. The marginalized, the accused, their voices are gone. Or maybe someone wanted them gone. On purpose.
Which brings us to the core of The Last Witch, how power works. Especially how being a man or a woman shaped this whole witch narrative.
Yeah.
And both our sources, they're really good at showing how, like, being accused of witchcraft, it wasn't just some random thing. It tied into all these anxieties people had.
Right.
About women especially. Women who didn't fit in, didn't play by the rules.
Totally. Back then, a woman's place, it was all about men, right?
Right.
Wife, daughter, sister. You step outside those lines. Suspicious. Instant target.
And in the play, that's Janet, Anna Pieri's character.
Yeah.
She's a threat. Not because she's doing magic, but just because she makes her own choices. It's like, man, that's how easy it is, right? To take your fear, point it at someone different.
Yeah, the history.com article, same thing. Single, widowed, on the edges of things. Those women were vulnerable. Witch hunts, they went after them hard.
Which, think about it, is kind of ironic. Because those women, they were survivors.
Oh, absolutely.
They had skills, knowledge.
Herbal remedies, midwifery, just surviving on their own. To the people in charge, that's scary.
Because it means you don't need them.
Exactly. So that knowledge, that independence, boom, suddenly it's evil. More fuel for the fire.
There's this part in Anna Pieri's interview, it freaked me out a little, honestly. She's talking about how the play, The Last Witch, it goes there, right? It links being a woman, like expressing your sexuality, to witchcraft.
Yeah. Sadly, not surprising though. Happens all the time, historically. A woman owns her sexuality, pushes back against the patriarchy. Suddenly she's dangerous, in league with the devil. Gotta be stopped.
Like any kind of power a woman has. Brains, friends, her own body.
Yeah.
It's a threat. Gotta punish that.
Total fear of female agency. Those women, they were messing with the whole system just by being themselves. And what's even wilder, this isn't just ancient history stuff.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, it's like 21st century, and some things haven't changed that much.
Right.
Anna Pieri, she makes this connection, right, between how witches were treated and how we still treat women in power today. She even says, look at Hillary Clinton. Crazy qualified, but so many attacks, and you could just tell it wasn't just politics.
Oh, totally. Deep down, it's that same anxiety about women, about power. Even now, women leading, they hit this double standard. Assertive, aggressive, emotional, weak. It's like those witch hunts. Same root, fear.
It's like, by trying to control women, keep them in these little boxes. It's like society's scared of something it doesn't get, so it calls it dangerous.
And here's the truly awful part. The History.com article, it reminds us this isn't over. People, mostly women, they're still being accused, ostracized, even killed for witchcraft today.
It's like, man, it makes you think, how deep does this stuff go? Fear, ignorance.
Yeah.
You'd think we'd be past it.
Right. It shows you the past is never really past. It's in the present, and not always in good ways. The witch hunts, yeah, they were centuries ago, but that same fear, ignorance, wanting power over others, it's still here.
So big picture time. We've dug into this witch history.
Oh.
What's it saying about us now?
The million-dollar question. I think the big takeaway, it's about who's telling the story. For so long, with witchcraft, it's been the accusers, the ones in charge, the ones who won by silencing these women.
It's easy to just go along, take the stories we're given, not look too close.
Right, but then we're part of the problem. Because those stories, they can hurt people, even now.
Exactly. We need different sides, different voices, especially the ones nobody wanted to hear back then. Got to read between the lines, be honest about what we think we know.
Like Anna Pieri said, history is written by the winners. And witches. They did not win. Their stories, it's the people in charge, the ones pointing the finger, their version won out because it benefited them.
And that's what's so powerful about stuff like The Last Witch.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just a play. It's taking history back.
Yeah.
Giving those women their voices back, saying, hey, these were people, they mattered.
Totally. It's pushing back against the stories everyone thinks they know and saying, nope, there's more to it.
And here's the thing that really gets me. Those witch hunts, their shadows are still here. We just talked about it, right? People called witches, still persecuted.
Yeah.
Not just history book stuff.
Yeah. Makes you think, doesn't it? That whole, we've moved past that idea. Not so much. Same fear, same ignorance, same grab for power, all still driving things.
So last thought before we sign off. What if we tried seeing history through their eyes? The ones called monsters, the ones called different. What would we learn then if we listened to the voices everyone tried to quiet?
That's a good question. Anywhere, not just history, Whose story are you hearing and whose is missing? Are you really listening or just going along?
Truth is, history's never over, never settled. It's like a conversation that never ends, and we got to make sure everyone's a part of it.
Well said. Until next time, keep asking those questions, keep digging for the truth, and never, ever underestimate a good story.